The 2019 Liberty Encounter Series, proudly brought to you by ASG.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off you go.
The Liberty Encounter Series is quite a significant mountain bike series. We've got the first event, which is the Transcape, that starts in the George area. We traverse the Garden Route, do a little detour through the Karoo, and we finish in the beautiful Franschhoek Valley, which is quite unique, really upmarket, 5-star mountain bike experience. It really is such a unique event. The second event would be the Winelands Encounter. As the name depicts, it's in a winelands region in the beautiful Paarl, Stellenbosch and Franschhoek area. We start at Boschendal, we traverse the mountains there, we'll go past the Berg River, get all the way down to Franschhoek. Second day we ride in Franschhoek Valley, and the third day we ride all the way back to Paarl. And then we've got where we are now. We're on the third event, which is in the Bushveld, and really is such a unique experience. It's in the Bushveld, as I said, in a Waterberg region, and it really just brings the whole series together. It's really unique, although it is kind of a similar feel throughout the events. And yeah, Liberty really makes it worthwhile for the riders, and really is such a cool experience. And I think all the riders should experience all three of the events.
The Sondela Nature Reserve hosted the start of the Liberty Waterberg Encounter. 3 days of exploring the pristine Limpopo province bush.
Stay on the bike, enjoy the ride, and as one of the guys said yesterday, come at the back, because those oaks get noticed. Either you're winning or you're losing.
Stage 1, the longest of the three, was 57 kilometres with 960 metres of elevation gain as they made their way up to Elements Private Golf Reserve.
Yeah, it's like a dusty, as you can see. But it's a vibe, it's flipping cool. Everyone's in good spirits. Awesome event, man.
Trails flowed smoothly between the trees. It was fast riding and a really relaxed vibe. The second stage was an out and back loop of 46 k's from Elements.
It's beautiful scenery today. Absolutely stunning. I mean, the weather is great. I like the 8 o'clock start. It's not too early, you can lie in, good coffee, everything good.
The glorious weather and stunning bushveld made for a very special morning of riding. Philippe Fourie and Francois Yebesson were the team to beat all weekend, and no one could.
Feeling better than yesterday. Yesterday I was trailing at the back, but today, feeling stronger. Really good. Gotta keep it moving, keep it flowing. Lock the water!
The essence of the Liberty Waterberg Encounter is to enjoy the wonderful hospitality off the bike and the raw bush without making life too tough on the bike. The final stage was a return to Sondela via different trails and tracks. Ryan and Kasha Reynolds tackled it on a tandem, and they were still a happy couple after the 3 days.
I want to say thank you to Liberty, thank you to ASG, all the sponsors involved. We enjoyed ourselves thoroughly.
They looked brilliantly after us. Everything, from the start till the end, was brilliant.
Awesome 3 days. Yesterday completely different to today and on Friday, but yeah, spectacular views of the Waterberg, and yeah, well done to Liberty.
See the bushveld differently at the Liberty Waterberg Encounter. The Liberty Winelands Encounter 3-day mountain bike stage race is based at the majestic Le Franschhoek Hotel just outside Franschhoek.
There's nothing like a few battle wounds when one does a mountain bike stage race. Prove to the people back home that you actually did ride. There it is, right over there and right over there. My daughters will laugh at me.
The ride explores a myriad of trails in the Stellenbosch-Franschhoek-Paarl region. None of the stages is longer than 50 kilometres. But don't be fooled, the region is littered with mountains, so each day has around 1,000 metres of climbing.
Struggling big time. Yeah, it's too bad the Mediclinic is further to ride than the next stretch.
This year, the event attracted top riders like Waylon Wilcock and Team Dormacaba's Amy McDougall. It also attracted some unseasonal weather. Cool, misty and occasionally damp. It all added to the challenge. Squeals of delight followed as they headed into the fruits of local trail builder Nati Ferreira's labours alongside the Berg River Dam. A single track that takes them from the dam wall all the way to the old trout farm. Pure riding bliss. Some of the world's finest wines are produced on the steep southern and eastern facing slopes of the mountains in the area. The riders had to earn their post-ride glass.
I haven't got off my bike once until now, and then you catch me. But it's been awesome, man. Look at this view. Beautiful.
Aside from gaining access to some of the very best and usually private trails, the Liberty Winelands Encounter has the riders and their non-riding partners' needs at the forefront of their planning. Accommodation and dining is of the 5-star variety, as one would expect. The one section of riding that had even the hardiest of riders off their bikes was a rocky, rough and not too often ridden trail on the south bank of the Berg River. Indeed, there were no complaints. The Volverkloof section was a real treat. The final stage took them 50 kilometers from the Lafranchuk Hotel to Nederburg Wine Estate near Paarl. A roll through a slice of South African history, the Drakenstein Correctional Facility, site of Nelson Mandela's release. While the farmers welcomed the much-needed rain, the riders wrapped up as best they could. The final day was less technically demanding than the first two, as they hugged the lower slopes of the Drakenstein Mountains. Vineyard climbs, a staple for Western Cape riders, tested their legs. And the persistent precipitation gave their wet weather gear a good soaking. Despite the weather, they were just satisfied riders rolling into the historic Nederburg Wine Estate on the lower slopes of the Havikwa Mountains. Waylon Woolcock and young Henny Roo were the eventual race winners. But the Liberty Winelands Encounter was about so much more. The Liberty Winelands Encounter is the perfect all-round Western Cape mountain bike escape.
It's a great race. It's not too long, it's manageable for everyone and not a lot of training. You don't have to be epic fit or anything to ride this race. So yeah, very enjoyable. And everything we've had here, with staying at the hotel and the food and everything's been really nice. So great weekend.
A Cape experience that was fantastic. Really enjoyed it.
I've had the distinct privilege this year of doing all three, which started in February. Was it February? March. February with Transcape, my first Transcape. And that was just totally amazing. The first time I've done more than 3 days. And the other events that I've done with the 3 days, the Liberty Winelands Challenge, and now the Waterberg Challenge for the second time. And 3 distinctly different events. So the reason I recommend it, there's a couple of reasons. That they're small and intimate, so it's not like you are racing to get into chutes and starting times and everything like that. The starts are informal, the finishes are informal. So you can be anybody. You can be people coming in at 4 hours, and you can be people coming in 2 hours, and there's a place for you in all 3 events. There's no pressure, there's no egos involved. It's just enjoy mountain biking, which is what it should be.
The first event on the Liberty Encounter calendar for 2019 was the Liberty Transcape Encounter, a 7-day stage race starting near George and finishing in Franschhoek, a boutique-style race, and each day has its serious riding challenges. The riders paid their toll fees at the base of Montague Pass.
We're gonna pay some toll fees here, to go ahead to be able to pass.
And all safely negotiated the 172-year-old engineering masterpiece. The river crossings proved trickier for Jan Bryan, the leaders. The water points simply amazing at the Transcape, as was the ride through the Klein Karoo. They made their way to Chandelier Game and Ostrich Farm and on towards Rooiberg Lodge on stage 2. The terrain was not all district road though.
It's not too bad. I think it's the rocks, just the pounding that takes it out of your legs, but otherwise the climb is okay.
Rooiberg Pass took them away from Karlitsdorp and deep into the remote farmlands.
Oh, this is beyond expectations. Really, guys. I've done lots of races, but this is special.
An oasis in the dry Klein Karoo, Rooiberg Lodge was the second overnight stop. This before the 78-kilometre Stage 3 journey to Riversdale. The emphasis at the Liberty Transcape Encounter is on enjoying yourself. Finishing the ride is very important. And then be welcomed into the Langenhoven High School at the end of Stage 3. After a night in B&Bs and guest houses, the well-rested field headed further south. The Langeberg Mountains to the right, they cut through the dairy farms of the Agulhas floodplain on a luscious Cape summer's morning.
Lovely riding, spectacular. The climb was just gradual, which is fantastic. I think we got the wind at our back, or otherwise it's just in our favour today. So looking forward to the rest of the day. Should be fun.
I thought we had zebra crossings. Now we've got moo cows going past here.
A little rural traffic congestion en route to Swellendam on the 98-kilometre Stage 4. Grootvadersbosch and a swing through Zuurbrugg led them to the finish, and another spectacular dinner under the stars at the Field and Fork in the old jail in Swellendam. Riders from 12 countries, now firm friends, chatted about the day's ride over a glass of wine or two. Stage 5 started at Gaiko Lodge. A relatively flat 98 kilometres to Greyton was on the day's menu. Crossing the nicely swollen Breda River was part of the plan. Among the riders was Rugby World Cup winning captain John Smith, who was under the pump from partner Shane Chorley.
I think he's late for a meeting again. That's 5 meetings in a row. So I'm holding off for dear life again. I may look very relaxed, but I'm not.
The Liberty Transcape Encounter is a race for some and a tough but rewarding journey for others as they embrace the wide open spaces and the ever-changing terrain and landscape. German Udo Müller was the race leader, and he and his fellow racers set a sharp pace along the quiet Overberg farm roads. Luxury accommodation and shuttles in Volvo XC90s is all part of the deal, as are magnificent water points strategically placed to offer timely food and cold drinks on a hot morning.
It's just very hot, but just absolutely beautiful. The pass coming down is just great. Looking forward to going up the next pass.
The Hohokin at the top of the Cut Pass was the final night stop. And then it was into the beautiful apple and fruit-growing Elgin and Grabo Valley. The 70-kilometre final stage included Franschhoek Pass. And Udo Müller rolled into Holden Manswijns near Franschhoek as the race winner. 3-day riders, Rens Renzelman and David de Bruin, took the team victory on the day, but the overall race victory in the team race went to Albertus Juster and Justin van der Linde. The Liberty Transcape Encounter is an iconic mountain bike journey, challenging yet supremely beautiful in equal measure. The 2019 Liberty Encounter Series, proudly brought to you by ASG.